Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for My Happy Marriage, episode 13 on Netflix. So, they dropped the OVA, and I kind of just wanted to do a little review of it. It's just a typical episode length. It pretty much begins right where it started, where it ended off last time, of Kudo and Mio, yeah, attending this kind of party thing and kind of understanding how they're kind of feeling about each other, how the rest of the kind of machinations are kind of going on before them trying to understand like the forms of happiness that kind of are taken between both of them, which is kind of interesting. So she's like kind of going through. She's kind of like afraid of screwing things up. We get Hazuki introduces Mio to her son Asahi, and he's just acting like a little asshole pretty much. But we learn that he's acting like that because he's jealous of the time that Mio is spending with his mother. And it's kind of like it comes up after this kind of blow up as he's trying to get away from her and then gets knocked into someone else's kind of legs and accidentally spills this kind of drink on Mio's dress. And we also learn that Hazuki is the ex-wife of the bodyguard of the Emperor's son, Prince Takahito. And we see them actually being pretty good co-parents, trying to figure out what's kind of going on with their son, and learning that he's jealous, and that trying to teach him the different kind of concepts of love, and that Hazuki has a sisterly affection toward Mio, and she reciprocates in kind, and that they're really kind of happy about that. And before this, we had seen that Takahito wanted to pretty much talk to them and kind of apologize what was going on with the Saimori family and the Usabas, and that his father, the Emperor, had lost the divine revelation kind of power, and that Takahito still has it, but he's vastly sorry for what has gone on and trying to apologize to Mio, and she's like, she like appreciates it, but if she hadn't gone through everything that had happened, she wouldn't be with Lord Kudo now. And there's silver lining, but it's more like, well, listen, there could have been a lot better ways to, I understand that events fell like this to do that, and of course, we now have asshole doing all these kind of things to try and do whatever he can to retain his own kind of power and whatnot. It's like, god damn. But we do have hope in Takahito, where he's like, this is bullshit. This should not be going on whatsoever. And I'm like, good on you. We then pretty much see them going through, figuring out what's kind of going on, and we see that Arata pops up the next day to pretty much float the idea of him being the bodyguard to Mio, and to kind of keep that situation from going nutty. And Kudo's like, fuck this noise, no. And then we see that the elderly lady pops up, and Hazuki pops up, and trying to figure out kind of what's all going on before Mio pretty much sends Kudo off to work, and like tightening his hair tie and patting his head to kind of get him more energized for the day, because he's just kind of over Arata kind of popping up and be like, let me be Mio's bodyguard. And I understand you wouldn't be that happy about it, but it would be, since you guys have targets on your back because of all the different kind of like political intrigue and all the powers and everything like that kind of going on, she does need help like that. Teach her to also defend herself, but having somebody to watch her back is also an effective thing as well. And seeing how Mio was able to kind of diffuse it and kind of get him pepped up and everything, she's like, yeah, now I'm good. And seeing them kind of figuring out what makes each other happy is kind of cool. Like that push and pull, figuring out what sets people off, what calms them down, what kind of makes people tick. That's kind of a cool thing to explore here with them. Understanding what the form of happiness kind of works out for these people. and setting up a little bit more of what's kind of going on in the world, how it's kind of interconnected. I did not know that Hazuki and her her ex-husband was pretty much the protector of Prince Takahito. That's a kind of cool thing to kind of learn and see what's kind of going on. We'll see if Asahi kind of pops up anymore, and if he has any kind of like an attitude change to Miho. It makes sense. You are a kid and you kind of want your parents, and they're both split up, and that it depends upon what goes on with how the duties are divvied up. Who you'll see more, if you see any of them more, if you see them both less. And him having that jealousy makes sense. And Miho trying to like diffuse that, being like, why are you angry at me? Now, most of the time Miho's like, yeah, people are gonna just be angry at me at default state, so I just like make myself small, get out of the way. Her kind of expanding more and not immediately just shrinking away from the kid was kind of cool to see as well. So we'll see how this kind of sets up. I'm glad that we're going to get a season 2 and that we got this as well. Let's see here. Make sure that there hasn't been any new information. Airing of to premiere in January. So it's nice that they've set this off, gets everybody kind of talking a little bit, and we can see what kind of happens January 2025. Now, I'm going to be kind of waiting for the dub. I don't know if it's going to be simulcast or if they'll do it in Japanese first, do it sub, and then there'll be a dub delay. We'll see about that. Normally, even if it's going to be a week to week, I'm probably just going to wait for the whole season to be ended and do the review that way. This is kind of a special kind of thing that sometimes happens, mainly with Netflix ones, that the season will be over and there'll be an OVA, and then we kind of get that kind of going on. So I like this. It was more of the same. There wasn't anything completely and utterly horrendously done. Animation worked very well. I love checking back in with these characters, and can't wait to see where we get in the next season. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.